Hey, it's Guyby. We're handing out trophies for the first annual Vital MX Awards, and the 2018 Person of the Year trophy goes to Team HRC Honda's Ken Roczen. Voters on the site seemed to connect with his gritty return following a couple roller coaster seasons filled with injuries. We caught up with him at the Honda test track where he was putting the finishing touches on his 2019 Supercross prep. Hey, I think people were amazed at the comeback last year. You know, injuries are obviously a part of the sport, but to have the big crash, have another one last year, and to watch you go through the highs and lows, you know, because it all happens very publicly. You share a lot on all your social media stuff. How did you handle all that?
Well, last year was tough. You know, I was just on the verge of coming back, and I was doing pretty good, but still felt uncomfortable out there. Just not really one with the bike and one with, in general, just a racing atmosphere. And then just to go down again, and I knew like right away when I crashed and my hand was going to be smashed again, and that didn't help because it was just another setback. You know, I feel like before I was here, and then I kind of got back up, and then it just dropped, you know, one below again. And in the end, going to Hangtown with my hand was so bad. Like a couple of weeks before, I didn't even know if I was really going to race, just because I was pretty much riding parade laps around the track. And my thumb got really sore, and it just wasn't there. But I showed up, and then it was a year and a few months, and I only did 5 Supercross races. So overall, I was so far away from the whole racing thing, you know. And in Hangtown, just absolutely did not go how we wanted to, and I felt just terrible out there. And I came back then in Glen Helen and just kind of, you know, I was leading 20 minutes of the race, and it's kind of crazy what just one race under your belt and feel a little bit more normal going to the next race, what that can do. And in the end, you know, we made it throughout the outdoor season. I think people think that it was great, but for me, it's like I'm not winning or whatever, so I'm like, dang it, it's not where I want to be, but you got to take the good with the bad. And I was just glad that I was able to be out there and grab quite a few podiums towards the end. Washougal was cooler for me just because I feel like I had a good chance at winning the overall, just to give it away with a lap to go or so. But in the end, I finished a bunch of times on the second spot, and especially the last few races. So I got better, and I felt honestly pretty not that good out there. And the fact that I was on the podium is pretty good, and that just shows that I feel like when I'm ready and all good, that I can be at the very front.
Talking with the people around you, they're always impressed with the positive attitude. How do you maintain that even through all the highs and lows?
It's really tough. I force myself. I don't know how to say it. It's really tough because it's not all roses, you know what I mean? But I think in the end of the day, I try to remind myself that when I was hurt, I said multiple times that I will take any crappy riding day or any day where it's not necessarily the best day. I'll take that over being hurt in the hospital every single time. So I just kind of bring myself back, and it's kind of like meditating, you know. You meditate, you focus on your breathing, and if your mind wanders and you get distracted by thoughts, they say you want to bring it back. So it's kind of like the same thing with a positive mindset. The human bodies are made for survival back in the day, so our mind automatically goes towards the negative every single time, but it's in your hands to bring it back and back to the positive side. And it's just you kind of have to train yourself to do that and force yourself. But overall, I mean, who doesn't want to be positive, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting talking with team guys. You know, they talk about there's times when you bring them up too.
Nobody ever wants to be around negative people. So, and it's tough, you know, there's not every day is the same, but if you can help somebody out, and especially I've gotten a lot of feedback from fans and people on my Instagram that it helps them out, them seeing me being positive and strong, and helps them out a lot. So, I mean, it's great, you know, if you can help the world out that way, it's awesome.
How's the off season been, and what are you looking forward to for this season?
The off season has been solid, you know. I just keep my eyes on the prize and try not to have too many highs and too many lows, and just kind of keep a steady flow. And I'm coming in here prepared as every single year, so I'm just kind of waiting and prepping. I mean, right now it's a time where, and you know, might not be out, but there's quite a few people hurt and it's every year that time of year where people get hurt. So I'm just kind of trying to do my thing and be super focused and have fun at the same time, but do my work.
I saw that video on Instagram of the pistol squats. Man, don't you know you're a motocrosser? Apparently you don't have motocross guy knees, though.
Well, motocrosser, I mean, I think a lot of people in this industry don't train right, and having the proper strength is protection for your body. So I'm all about it.
Hey, as much as we appreciate what you went through last year, with all the injuries and everything else, you feel free to skip that this year, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Trust me, that's the last thing I want to do is get hurt again. Because I know that if I can just be there throughout the season, I'll be there towards the end. And I just need, like the last 2 years, I just need a chance again. That's on me. Last year was on me. I mean, it is what it is. But you got to take responsibilities for what you've done. But at the same time, it's just another year, and I'm not ready to give up. My story ain't done yet, and I want to be back to the old Kenny.
Any message for the fans and folks that voted for you here?
Well, the folks that voted for me, whether that's industry fans or people at Vital, I mean, I appreciate it, and it's an honor to it's an honor for me to hear that people look up to me and they voted me for this award. I mean, it's just a great feeling, and it's good to know what people think of you, and I really, really appreciate it from my heart. And let's stay off the ground this time and hopefully get to the very top.